Shame. Allah Ta'ala don't forgive shirk, and also He doesn't, after shirk He doesn't like He doesn't like is kibir. As you mentioned at the khutbah, mankind can have honey life. Is honey life can cause kibir? And what honey life and kibir together, what can do to person?
Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You all heard the question? Or are you busy with halwa? Were you eating halwa now? Did I say to eat? Just say take. I did say to eat, right? He's a kid anyway. Afir also. Eat halwa. You heard the question? You're saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Shirk and kibir. Kibir is what? Pride, showing off, arrogance. Shirk is to say that there is two Allah. There's a partner to Allah. And people in the Akhir Zaman, they don't put a partner to Allah. They say, I'm a partner to Allah. Me. They say, I can change into whoever I want. This is my life. They declare themselves to be Ilah. Very big danger. At least in the old days, they put one there. Stone something. And they say, they're not saying them. They're saying this one. Oh, the proudness of the people of Akhir Zaman, they're all declaring, I am Allah. Very big danger. Hell is one thing. Non-existence is another. Non-existence. To not be in existence. The Shaykh Afandi had said, Shaitan will scream and beg Allah to put him in hell forever as long as he is not thrown into non-existence. So, shirk and arrogance, kibir, very big wrong things you can do on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's saying in the khutbah, the honey life that you may get when you're running for the sake of Allah, will that not lead to arrogance, showing off? Yes? A question. And what? The last part is?
What person have difficulties when they have this both kibir and honey life?
That the difficulties he has in both, in this kibir and in having a honey life. Now, this honey life that we're talking about here, as Shaykh Maulana is saying, we don't want honeymoon, we want a honey life. Meaning what? We don't want, he's talking about love. The love that is 7 days, 7 weeks, or 7 years, and then at 8th year, there's no more love, there's not real love. We don't want a honeymoon where you are in love for 1 week, 2 weeks, these days, 3 days. And then after that, reality sinks in and you don't have that love. He says we don't want a honeymoon like that, fake. We want a honey life. The whole life that you are in love. The whole life that the sweetness is given to you. That you're doing things from your sincerity and from your love. So the question is, if the honey life is given to us, meaning if it is going to be ease that is given to us, in every way, will that not lead you to being ungrateful, to try to becoming arrogant, to all those things? It is not what Allah gives you that is going to change you. It is what you have inside of your heart that will change you. For the man who has Qalbun Salim, Khutbah is saying, the heart, pure heart, a golden heart, that Maulana is saying. For the person with a golden heart, like the saints, like the prophets, Allah can give them the bitterest poison the most hard thing, and they turn it to become honey. Yes? Look at Ayub alayhi salam. Look at Holy Prophet alayhi wasalam. What difficult lives they lived. Look at the Sahabi Kiram. The most difficult lives they had, but it didn't become poison to them. It didn't make them to hate Hasha, Allah, or creation. They didn't run away from responsibility. Their faith becomes stronger. It becomes honey. And with that honey, through the difficulty that they got, the poison, the hardship, they turn it to become honey. And from that honey, millions reaching to them until Judgment Day. If you don't have a qalbun salim, if your heart is not pure, Allah can give you honey, you will turn it to become poison. Understand? So a believer, a rose or a thorn, is saying thank you, it is coming from you. For a believer, not only is going to say thank you, for a believer, good things now coming to him, he knows that this is a favor from his Lord, and the favor comes with tests. He's also being tested. Allah is saying, we will test you. With ease and with difficulty, He will test you. Those who are running in the way of Allah, meaning those who are, like for example, people in this world who are running for dunya, who are running to go to the best schools. You ever hear people who are running to go to the best schools, whether it's Princeton or Columbia or Oxford or Cambridge or Sorbonne? You ever hear them complaining that they have to study so much? That they say this is unfair. I have to study so much. Why so many exams coming to me? No, they don't. They expect, this is part of the thing. The higher that you go, the more difficult it's going to be. You have to prepare yourself for it. Muslims have lost their minds. They become really entitled. They say, I'm entitled to get all these good things. If I don't get it, I'm going to be angry with Allah. I'm going to be angry with the Prophet. These days I'm going to be angry with the Shaykh. But they're not understanding. If you're a believer, everything that comes to you, it is a test. The good, it is a test. The bad, it is a test. Because the good, it is coming from Allah. The bad is also coming from Allah. And Allah now is testing you. Maybe for other people, they'd be so happy. Like I said, if difficulty comes to you, you lose your faith. And you ask Allah, why is this happening? But when good things come to you, you never question Allah. You never say, why is this given to me? You say, Alhamdulillah, finally. You're walking on the road, you see money, nobody says, this is a test for me. Why is He giving me this? Everybody says, MashaAllah, I deserve this. This is mine. How you say? The law of what? If you find something, you find the keeper. But the believer is not thinking that way. The believer is saying, this is also a test for me. The good and the bad. The honey life and the bitter life, it is a test for me. Test meaning what? Now I have to study it. I have to study it. I have to get the right answers. It's very easy. It's very easy. For the believer, when honey is given to him, he shares it. He shares it. Whether it is money or good spirits, good nature, or time, or smiles, or he shares it. He doesn't keep it to himself. He shares it. When you see that believer just keeping to himself, is not participating in anything, even if he writes a check every month or something, he's not really sharing his life. Anyone can just write a check. You understand? How you know someone cares? When someone is carrying difficulties for you. You have a difficulty, and he's sharing his ease and he's carrying the difficulty from you. Sometimes you're feeling so heavy, one wrong word from someone will crush you, yes? Sometimes you're feeling so heavy, one nice word from someone, you'll forget everything. Be that person who is giving. You understand? So you share. Don't share your bitterness. Don't share your poison. The believer is not anyway. The believer doesn't complain. The believer knows there's a test. The believer quickly is going to say, Alhamdulillah, I still have my faith. Alhamdulillah, I can still breathe. How many thousands of people, they cannot even breathe. They are in suffering in the hospitals. Alhamdulillah, they run quickly to thank Allah when something is not given to them that they want, or some difficulty. They say, at least I have this, I have this, I have this, I have everything. The believer checks himself. The believer shares. It will come to the point where things that are given to him, to the believer finds it, especially the dunya, he finds it very heavy. He says, oh, I remember when I didn't have anything and life was so simple. Now, everywhere I go, I'm carrying things in my hands. Dunya. But that believer cannot say, oh, no, I give up everything. I don't want anything. I want to be that. No. If it's given to you, that time you have to give. You have to share. Don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to people who are saying you're not sharing. Don't listen to people who are saying you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Don't listen to them. And usually it's the people that you help that later they're going to say he never helped anyone. Yes? They will become your worst enemies because you help them. So that's how you're not going to let it to spoil you. A good thing that you have, you're going to share. Anything good. Then you come stage by stage. Who are you going to share it with? Who are your thoughts with? Then stage by stage, step by step, you'll understand, taste a little bit of the reality of love. Well, what is that? If you love someone, if something good is given to you, if that one does not have, you feel very dirty, very uncomfortable until you give that one. Anything good you experience, you say that one must have also. That one must share. Yes? As Shaykh Effendi is saying, at least find one person. No, that one is not really your wife or your husband. We're in tariqat. That one has to be Allah and His Prophet ﷺ, and the believers. Of course you must love your husbands. Of course you must love your wives. Of course you must love your children. But don't get sucked into that. Khutbah is also saying that, no? Because we are following the way of the prophets. The prophets, they are never, they are just busy with their sons and their daughters and their wives. Never. Prophets, what is the sign that one is a prophet? He has a nation. And he takes care of his nation. Your nation is not just your family. We are in the way of Siddiqul Akbar. The nation there, at least you're going to start with a Jamaat small. You can say, of course, take care of your family, and this one, and this one, and this one. Then that time, Islam, if you don't have this, how it was going to survive for 1400 years? Like today, people, they are saying, I give zakat, I give sadaqah, but first, I give sadaqah to my own family. If the Muslims had this kind of understanding for 1400 years, nothing is going to be taken care of. No one. You're not going to look at poor people, you're not going to look at orphans, you're not going to look at people who is not from your nation, not from your nationality, not from your race. You're not going to look at anyone because you say, no, first is blood you have to take care of. That is a little bit of that reality that Saleh was talking about that night. You understand? If you were there. That is a lesson for us. Do you think that was a lesson for the Holy Prophet ﷺ? No. But it is showing, Prophet is humbling himself sometimes to show his human side. So that we can look at him and say, you understand us because you feel the same way too. How are you going to trust that one if he has never understood how you feel? How are you going to trust a leader who has never understood the pain that you felt? That one is not a leader anyway. It's just a politician. Understand? So now you are going to see who is it that you love. Then you say, share this. Your hand cannot reach. You say, Ya Rabbi, as you are giving me this, please give him that. At least a prayer, a thought. Now you're entering a little bit into love. There's no separation. And when hardship comes to you, say, I don't wish it on that one. Comes together too. Then you're going to look into your heart and you're going to see that beloved one. Don't put in your heart anything beloved except if that one is beloved to Allah. It will be a problem. Even if you love that one so much, but that one is not a beloved of Allah, don't put in your heart too much. Put it in its proper form. Because that heart, that throne is only for Allah. And if Allah is there, those whom Allah loves, they are with Him. Don't say I'm saying they are partners. No, they are with Him. They've already disappeared into that ocean. May Allah make our hearts to become clean, to make us to love properly, to make us to love those ones whom Allah loves. May we be with them, dunya and akhirah, inshallah. Al-Fatiha.